Welcome to Choosing to Live Kitchen. Today I'm going to make one of our favorites. It is dry rub ribs, and what we're going to do is make a little rub sauce. We're going to rub it onto the ribs, and then we're going to put them in the oven for 2.5 hours, and they come out just really nice and juicy. So first thing I'm going to do is set my oven to 300. That's the step I forget sometimes. Oh, bake. 300 degrees. These are going to be slow because we want them falling off the bone and juicy. And the next thing we'll do is we'll make our rub sauce. Now, if you're part of our Revival Chapel keto group, you know that in January we started a new series, and this recipe is in the week 1 recipes. It's in the week 1 dinner recipes. So let's start with our spice rub. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of salt. I might need a teaspoon. Alright. And I'm using here pink Himalayan salt. Use pink Himalayan, use 2. Use Redmond's, use any kind of sea salt. Probably not the little blue umbrella girl salt, right? We need 2 teaspoons of pepper. Good thing we're going to the store today. I think that's the end of the pepper in my kitchen today, but that's all right. We're going to the store. Going to the store. There we go. And then 2 teaspoons of oregano. Do you see a pattern starting to develop here? Yeah? All right. I don't know why I keep the shaker on here. Who shakes oregano? Do you shake oregano? Really? I cannot think of a time I've actually, maybe on a pizza. Pizza. Probably not a pizza. All right. 2 teaspoons of oregano. 2 teaspoons of cumin. Also has a shaker. No, I don't ever shake cumin. You watch me put that back on there probably, right? That's not cumin. Oh, that's paprika. How about cumin? Paprika, of course, we do sprinkle when we make eggs, right? That gets sprinkled. So there's 1, 2 cumins, I think. Yep, 2 cumins, 4 paprika. Whoops, there's about 2, 3, 4. We like our paprika. Ooh. Okay, so there's a lot of paprika in today's. I think it's going to be really good. Now my recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I don't have any, so today I'm just going to put a little bit of chili powder in there. I think that'll be all right. Not a whole lot. We're not making chili, right? We're making a dry rub sauce for ribs. So we have all of our spices mixed up. The next thing we want to do is prepare our pan. And any kind of a baking dish that will fit your ribs will work. This, look at there, my oven's ready. Doesn't quite fit, that's okay. It's the biggest pan I have today, so that's what we're going to use. So here's what I do with the aluminum foil. If you followed your mom or your grandma around the kitchen, you've seen this little trick. I'm going to pull out a couple of pieces and seam them together so that I have a bigger piece of aluminum foil. My mother was a seamstress, so I would say right sides together, right? If you're you understand what that means. So I make these because it does not really matter for this, of course, right? But makes me feel better if I have the shiny side all together and the dull side all together. So what I'm doing, can you see what I'm doing here? Okay, so what I'm doing is I put them together, so these 2 pieces together, and then I'm going to fold them over, and I'm going to make a seam, like what is up the side of your t-shirt, just a little seam, and I roll that over 2 or 3 times. Now if you have really heavy duty aluminum foil, be careful not to cut your finger. I've actually cut my fingers on heavy duty aluminum foil, and that really smarts. So you don't want to do that. So then I'm going to fold this one over 3 times. Sometimes I do it 4 times, whatever you feel like is secure. And then when you open it up, ta-da! you have one piece. All right. So then we're going to take our ribs. This might get a little messy. So I'm going to cut the package open. Can they see my ribs? So I'm going to take my ribs and I'm going to do this in the sink because sometimes this gets a little bit messy. Oh, and I wanted to mention too, these ribs, we prefer beef, okay? But I do buy pork, especially when it's on sale. If I don't have a pig from my nephew, I get the pork and the beef from my nephew. But, sometimes we have a little bit of time between there where we don't have any. So then I'll buy it when it's on sale. And for ribs, $1.99 is a pretty darn good sale. So that's what these were, I think. When I see $1.99, I do it. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to dab off the moisture a little bit. Hoi! Because we want our rub to stick, right? So I'm just going to plop them down on here. Dab off that moisture a little bit. Alright. So got them all dabbed. And then we're going to take a knife. This is the fun part. Stab, 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 okay? We're going to stab right through that membrane. Some people remove the membrane. I don't. There's actually a lot of good collagen in that membrane. There's a little bit of fat in that membrane, and we want that. That's really good for us. If you have a little bit of joint pain, that collagen will go in and fill that up for you a little bit. If you have a little bit of wrinkles here and there, we take collagen for that, right? Well, you know what? That's provided right here in the membrane. So you want to do that. So I stab them there. And I'm going to flip them over. We don't want the other side to feel ignored. Come on, you can do it. There you go. Flip. And we'll stab this side a little bit. Stab, 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 stab. I have older grandchildren who help me cook. I let them do this part. They kind of like it. We don't always tell Mom and Dad everything we do in the kitchen. That's all right. Happens at Grandma's, stays at Grandma's, right? So what are we going to do next? Well, next we're going to take some bacon grease. I do hope you save your bacon grease when you make bacon. Love to cook with bacon grease. And I'm just going to rub it on both sides. So we'll put some right here. And rub it in. I did wash my hands off camera, of course, last week or so. All right, and then we're going to flip them over. And we want some here. Shoop, shoop. We call them dry rub. And actually, I have accidentally skipped this part. They are still very good. They're better with this, but if you forget or if you're out of bacon grease, if you don't have any lard or ghee, they're still pretty good without this part. So, all right. Now my hands are quite a mess. Let's wash them off. Alrighty. And what comes next? What comes next is the dry rub that we made, right? So we're going to just spread it on evenly on both sides. Rub that in. Yummy, yummy. Ribs in my tummy. And you know, we're actually going to go shopping today. And so we want to get this into the oven before we leave the house, because when we are at Costco and Walmart and we may go to a grocery store and things are looking good and smelling good, we're going to remember, ooh, we've got dry rub ribs in the oven. Now, you notice I have a little bit extra. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. I used to use it all on here, and then kind of got this idea out of nowhere, and what do you know, it was a wonderful idea. It actually worked out. Some of my ideas work out, some of them don't. I try them out for you first. They work out, I'm happy to share. There's a little more dry rub left over than I needed, so I'm just going to make sure. I'm trying to save about a tablespoon. I'm going to save about that much. It's on the side here. There we go. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. All right. That little bit made any difference. And yeah, it's a little messy on the paper, but you know we're going to fold up the paper. It's all going to be in there. It's all good. Yes, it's messy. Wait till we eat them. That might be a little messy too. Alrighty. He's fat. He's going to be wonderful. So hopefully, ooh, these ribs are a little fat. I would have measured them first. I may have put another piece of foil on here, but I didn't. I think we're going to be okay. What you want is a really tight seal. So, put these together and fold them over. It's a little hard to get it started. Don't worry about it. Just start in the middle. Work your way out to the end. This is the place where if you have the thicker aluminum foil, you don't have to worry quite so much about ripping it. This aluminum foil is a little thinner. And again, you want a really good seal. You don't want any rips in it. If you get a rip in this while you're doing it, definitely take another couple pieces, put them together, just throw them right over this one. Now when you get to the ends, just kind of fold them in, and again, you don't want any of that air to escape. You want to lock all those juices right into here. Alright, so there we go. This guy is ready for the oven. Pick him up. If I got a tear right there, better not be. Nope, it's not. It was a shadow. Alright. So here, can you see my pan? So I've got him here in the pan. He doesn't quite fit. It's okay. It's going to be alright. He's all locked in here. Curl up a little bit at the ends. Our oven is preheated. Stick him right in there. And again, we are going to the store, so I'm not going to set my timer for 2.5 hours, but I'm going to note what time it is. What time is it? It's 3 o'clock. So these should be done at 5:30. Now, sometimes we like to put these in before we go to church in the morning. We know we're going to be gone 3 or 4 hours. All you do is lower your temperature. Lower it to 250 or 275. It'll take a little bit longer. It'll still be just as yummy and just as tender. So we are going to go do our shopping. And when we come back, we will show you what that looks like when we open it up. Oh, wait. Are we still here? I didn't show you what I did with the rest of this. Oh my goodness. Okay. Barbecue sauce is kind of carby because it has the sugar in it, right? And I thought, well, what would happen if we just took tomato sauce? And actually, I got the idea when we wanted to make a pizza. Courtney Luna has a carnivore cooking book that I really like. She has a pizza in it where it's, you know, carnivore pizza, and we are ketovore, so we put some veggies on top of it. But I also wanted some pizza sauce, and I thought, why don't we just take tomato sauce and put in some basil and oregano and some salt, garlic and onion powder, and call it pizza sauce. And we did, and it was really good. Now this one here actually has basil, oregano, and garlic in it, and we did use it as pizza sauce, and it was really good. And then what I did is I took some and I put it with my dry rub spices, and guess what? We had barbecue sauce. So I am going to mix a little bit of this up in here. You know what? I'll just, I am going to do it now. This is what I saved from my pizza last week. The sauce. It's probably, let's see, 1/4 cup is 4 carbs. This is probably 1/2 cup, right? It's probably 1/2 cup. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put about a tablespoon, 2 teaspoons, it's probably 2 teaspoons into here. We're going to make a little bit of barbecue sauce to put on top of our ribs. It's not necessary, but we tried it last time and it was really good, over the top good. So see you later. All right, so we had a wonderful shopping trip, except we didn't find any eggs. We got to Costco. Costco had no eggs. That was really sad. That was sad. It is 6:30. Remember, we put these ribs in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off because we know we know they're done. We put them in at 3 o'clock, and it is 6:30, so they should have been done at 5:30, and I bet they were just even extra yummy today. Steamed up my glasses. And here we are. We know that our pouch stayed nice and tight because we didn't get any liquid here in our thing, in our dish. Oh, you got to bring that over here so they can see this. Now, I don't know if you can see the steam escaping. This is really hot, so I do like to open it with my mitts on because that's hot. Look at there. You know that baby's going to be tender, right? Ooh, boy. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So we need a fork. Okay. Move right by my cameraman here. Mike's on camera today. I really appreciate that. Can you see when I dig into this? Because it's going to be a sight to behold. Alrighty. Oh, did you see that? How tender that is? Oh, yeah. That is, yeah. I think that, yeah, that's going to be good. So now the idea that I had with that, what did I do with my sauce?
Here.
Oh, here we go. The barbecue sauce that I made, the idea that I had was that we could spread the sauce on top of the ribs, stick it back in the oven, maybe caramelize it a little bit, but we're hungry. We could smell this as soon as we park the car. All of our windows are open today, and we're not going to be messing with that. We might dip it in the sauce a little bit, but we're going to go have this. That really is how easy that is. It's 5 to 10 minutes to get this thing into the oven, and then you walk away and forget about it until you're ready to eat. And you come back and it's all ready to go. So I hope you'll give that a try.